Hi everyone and welcome to Panthers TV with the GMB, and the Nottingham Panthers have a new coach and we thought it was about time we got to know him, and he's flown into Nottingham and he's here. You were just telling me you like the building, Rich.
I think it's a fascinating building. I think probably this building would probably be in the top, one of the top four in the German Elite League, and I'm really excited about making this our home and making this a very difficult rank for other teams to come in and try to beat us here.
You've mentioned Germany there. You've come to us from Germany. But let's go back. Let's go way back. I mean, where are you from?
I was actually born in Selkirk, Manitoba. Lived there till I was 6 years old, and then we moved out to Vancouver Island, and that's where I started playing hockey as a wee one, and played my 4 years of my junior career in Victoria, and in my second year I was drafted to the old Colorado Rockies, which is now the New Jersey Devils, and just made a career more so in the minors than just because I wasn't tall enough back then.
You played in the NHL. You played in the show.
I was fortunate to play 51 games between Calgary and New Jersey, and then my last 2 years before I came to Europe, I was a player assistant coach with the Toronto's Maple Leafs farm team in St. John's.
Then you came to Europe. What happened here?
Yeah, well, that year in '95 was a lockout year with the NHL, and so they took a bunch of us American leaguers over to play in the World Championships for Team Canada. And that's where I had some options to play in Europe the following year. And at that time, like I said, I was a player assistant coach with Toronto's farm team. And at that time, Cliff Fletcher, who was the GM of Toronto, wanted me to retire at 30 years old and become a full-time bench coach. And I just wasn't ready at that time to retire at 30 years old. I still felt like I had lots left of me and played more. And so I ended up coming to Europe and playing a city in the south of Germany called Schwenningen, and played 4 years there, and just by luck of chance, them knowing their people there knowing that I was going to get into coaching, made the opportunity for me to start coaching in the DL after I finished playing.
Bring us right up to date then. Last year you were at Frankfurt?
Yeah, I've been in total in two different occasions. I've been in Frankfurt, over the 23 years that I was in Germany, for 12 years, combined with the 6 years that I played before that, and coached 2 years in Schwenningen, a year in Cologne, a year in Augsburg, and the rest of the time in Frankfurt. And then the first tenure in Frankfurt was 7 years, and then our owner passed away, died, and he the team got sold or went bankrupt first, and so during that bankruptcy, I was in Ingolstadt for 2.5 years, and then back to Frankfurt as GM for the last 5.
And you left Frankfurt last year?
Yep, left Frankfurt last year. I had a 5-year contract, and the ownership there wanted to go in a different direction, especially after the year before when we had won the championship. I didn't really understand it, but
so you won the championship, and then they wanted to go in a different direction.
Yeah, in 2016-17 season, we won the championship, and so we just had our differences. And for me, it was time that I wanted a breath of fresh air, being in that country for so long, and I'm really excited and proud to be here and be part of the Nottingham organization.
What kind of a team can the fans expect to see that's been put together by Rich Chernomaz?
A very competitive team, a team that plays hard, battles hard, competes hard, really is, every guy is proud to wear, the Nottingham emblem on their jerseys, and to make life miserable for the other teams, from start to finish throughout the season. That's the way I was as a player. That's the way I would like to see our players play. And that's the way it will be, because that's my responsibility to get them to play that way.
Sounds as if with the phrase old school might apply.
No, I don't look at it as old school. I look at it as, you have all these different phrases of how the game should be played now. And to me, the game really hasn't changed. It's about how committed you are to go each and every day to step on the ice and first of all become a better player, and two is to try to win as many games as possible as you can with what you have to work with. And, that's how players excel. That's how they move to the next levels. And I think that with players that we have coming in, especially some of the young players, that's exactly what and how they should see things. And, the game is a game. Everybody wants to try to reinvent the wheel at times with the way the game is. But, the one thing that I've done as a coach over the years is been able to adjust how I deal with players on a one-on-one basis and overall with the team, because the players think a lot differently now than they used to.
It's been fun watching you put the team together. I think it's going to be fun watching that team on the ice.
Well, that's the first part of the process. The second part of the process is getting them on the ice, getting them to understand this is what we have to do to be successful, and reconfirming that from game to game, especially when we do win, and when we don't win, is getting them back on track and getting them and helping them understand that if you stick to the things that make you successful, we'll be successful. And to me, that's the most important thing, and that's why everybody is here, for, first of all, the organization to be successful, and for the players to individually be successful and have, always have options for themselves for the future.
Wish you well.
That's right. Thank you.